All right, guys, we have two very important news coming out. Number one, President Donald J. Trump just dropped a massive bombshell report. 230,000 plus documents was released today. Martin Luther King. All right, 36,000 documents was dropped today. At the same time, I feel like he's doing this just to kind of bury the Jeffrey Epstein news. Bury it once and for all. Let's bury it. Let's drop this big bombshell, Martin Luther King. Give the people this document. But don't give them the Jeffrey Epstein. All right? This, again, that's what I feel like that's going on here. I feel like Donald is trying to kind of let the American people know, hey, I got something better than Jeffrey Epstein. Number two, the White House. The White House has removed the Wall Street Journal from pool of reporters covering President Donald Trump weekend trip to Scotland. All right, so, you know, a lot of people not pleased, but here's the thing. The Wall Street Journal, they did that man dirty. They put out this crazy report of President Donald J. Trump birthday card wish to Jeffrey Epstein, which they're saying that is false, is baloney. President Donald Trump is filing a lawsuit, and I think it's $10 billion. That's big. That's big. So Donald does not want to get near. He doesn't want to talk to them. He don't want to know nothing about the Wall Street Journal. All right, so we're going to see what's going on with the Wall Street Journal. Now, the Martin Luther King, guys, to be honest, I'm not going to go through all that. I mean, that's something that was in the past. I can understand with a lot of things that happened under JFK and Martin Luther King. But again, the information dropped. A lot of people's going through them pages. And again, I know it's big news. It is big news. But I just feel like he's just doing that to bury Jeffrey Epstein. I think Jeffrey Epstein is more of a breaking news. And the reason why is because, again, you still have these sicko out there, and they need to be arrested. All right, so Jeffrey Epstein is something that is still going on. Martin Luther King was back in the 60s, and again, like I said, guys, God will seek his revenge when it comes to those, you know, in the past. Right now, again, Jeffrey Epstein stuff is still out there. The people are still out there. The people that have been with all these young ones, they're still out there. All right, so it says here, the White House removes Wall Street Journal reporter from President Donald Trump's Scotland trip over the paper's Epstein story. So he's going to go out there. I think it's going to be a NATO meeting. And then after that, I think Donald Trump is going to go to China, to Beijing. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's their plan. He's going to go to Beijing, and there's a possibility he might meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Hopefully that works out. But right now, that's, you know, the rumors that's going around. The White House has removed a Wall Street Journal reporter from the press pool for President Donald Trump's upcoming trip to Scotland over the journal's story on what it called a bawdy birthday letter to Jeffrey Epstein that the paper alleged was signed by President Donald Trump in early 2000s. A Wall Street Journal reporter was slated to join the president and a small group of other reporters aboard Air Force One as a part of the traveling press pool for the president's trip to Scotland later this month. So usually Donald Trump, it seems like he takes some of these news reporters with him and to travel with them and stuff like that. And I guess Wall Street Journal, you're banned. You can't come in the plane. Donald Trump don't want you, and that's it. I mean, the president is entitled to do that. You know, I don't want you guys. I mean, he's entitled to do that. Someone's going to be like, but Lewis, it's free press. Yeah, and those free press went to the extreme. So, yeah, again, a free press, respect, you know, again, when it comes to reporting, not making stuff up. It says here, A Wall Street Journal reporter was slated to join the president and a small group of other reporters aboard Air Force One as part of the traveling press pool for President Donald Trump's trip to Scotland later this month. But the White House press secretary Carolyn said Monday that because of what she called the paper's fake and defamatory conduct, the Wall Street Journal would not participate. For President Donald Trump filed a lawsuit over the story on Friday, asking for at least $20 billion. Wow. $20 billion. That's a lot. That is crazy money. $20 billion. Didn't they say it was 10? And here's the thing, President Trump is playing smart because these Wall Street Journal, again, let's say this is a journalist, they could probably make stuff up and then make everything a lot worse. So I don't blame him. See, look, here's the thing. I feel like these big companies, news media, I feel like there should be some kind of punishment. There has to be. I mean, you got to report news, not put out some fake baloney stuff. So 13 diverse outlets will participate in the press pool to cover the president's trip to Scotland. Due to the Wall Street Journal's fake and defamatory conduct, there will not be one of the 13 outlets on board. Every news organization in the entire world wishes to cover President Donald Trump, and the White House has taken significant steps to include as many voices as possible. The Wall Street Journal has not yet responded to a request for comment. The paper has stood by its reporting. On Thursday, the Wall Street Journal published a story claiming the letter from the early 2000s featured President Donald Trump's signature, as well as a birthday message and a drawing of a nude woman. According to the Journal's report, it was collected in a book along with letters from other friends and acquaintances to mark Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday in 2003. The president has denied the report, calling the letter fake. CBS News has not reviewed or verified the letter. President Donald Trump is visiting his home of Scotland, his ancestral home of Scotland, from July 25 to the 29th, with stops in Aberdeen and Turnberry, where he owns golf courses. Man, he got some golf courses. He has a lot of stuff out there, guys. A lot of land, a lot of property. All right, so that's what's going on. So basically, again, Donald is saying that it's not going to happen. I don't want you guys near my plane. I don't want you guys in my plane. I don't want you guys near me. All right, I'm going to sue you, and I'm going to sue you for like $20 billion. This is going to hurt you guys. You did it to yourself. You probably listened to Barack or Hillary. You guys did it to yourself. All right, and then at the same time, Donald dropped the Martin Luther King files. Here's the thing, going back to the files, it's great that he dropped it. You know, it's great that he dropped the files. It's great. And hopefully he will do the same thing with Jeffrey Epstein file. All right, but right now, it just, you know, the people are, if you read the comments, people's like, wrong file, buddy, wrong file. But again, Jeffrey Epstein is something that the American people are waiting for. And I feel like the more time they take, it's just they're removing all the bad stuff and just leaving the good, you know, whatever stuff in there. But yeah, just again, that's what's going on with this news here. Guys, I also want to bring something up really quick. I was reading this news article, and it's a very sad story. It's about this young girl. I don't know, I think she was maybe 10 or 11, and her father came from Canada, and I guess they were heading to New York or something, and the father called the 911 and said, hey, my child was abducted. And so the police put out a Amber Alert, and the next day police found the young one. They found her, but she has passed. And so, you know, a lot of people were saying there's something wrong here. She wasn't abducted, or whatever the father was saying, I guess it wasn't true. And so they were investigating this situation, and come to find out, they're saying that it was the father that did it. So again, my condolences and prayers to the families and friends that lost their loved ones. But I think the father was arrested, if I'm not mistaken. Give me a second here. I think he was arrested, but it just, I mean, why would you do that to a young one? Why would you do that? You know, that's you. I mean, that's your, again, that's you right there. That's again, that's your child. So it says here, her name is Melina Fantolin. Arrest made as girl 9 found DEAD after dad claims stranger abducted her. So the dad of Melina revealed as he's charged with 9 years old. You guys already know. So I don't want to show the picture, but very sad story. And I read the story yesterday, and I'm like, there's something wrong here. There's something wrong, you know. And then today, I just had a feeling that it was the dad. 9 years old. 9 years old. 9. Rest in peace to that young one. Departed from the body, but present with the Lord. My condolences and prayers to the families and friends that lost their loved ones. That's very heartbroken, and I was, you know, it's just very sad, guys. And look, I have young ones, and I love my young ones. I love them so much, and I just don't understand how you got, you know, parents out there that do that type of stuff. It's just crazy. It's mind-blowing. But again, you know, that young one, Melina, she's with God right now. You know, Jesus said that these young ones are innocent, that these are the innocents in God's eyes. They're innocent. All right. And again, my condolences to families and friends. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Do me a favor, if this is your first time, hit that like, hit that notification bell. And again, thank you so much for watching my video. Till next time later, peace.